Here we go, quick unboxing of the LG 144Hz 1 millisecond response 24GM77. Inside you have the power cable, VGA cable, dual link DVI, USB 3 cable, piece of the stand and the manual. This is the left hand side of the monitor where you can see it has two USB ports and an audio out. The stand is extendable, it has a swivel function and a tilt function. Now clearly they've needed some extra stability because the stand actually extends out about 10 centimeters, and that can get in the way of the keyboard and the mouse pad. You have some extra buttons at the bottom of the monitor. It's just black stabilizer, game mode and dynamic action sync mode. Then you have left and right obviously. And underneath you have a little joystick right there. The joystick is actually one of my favorite features of these monitors. So once you press it in, you get the menu. Now whichever direction you press, obviously middle will be exit, but it'll do that function. So to turn it off, you just bring it forward, picture mode to push it back, and menu we're going into on the left. Now I won't go through all the specifications because you can do that yourself. However, just quickly, it does have a brightness CD/M2 of 350, which means it's quite high. Once we're in the menu, it comes up on the right hand side, and you can see I've got the brightness set at 75 because at 100 it's just too bright, it starts to wash out the colors. So if you'd like to copy my settings, brightness 75, contrast 50, picture mode, I set it in custom so I can actually set this. And as you can see when you're navigating, it's just right on the joystick, left to go back, down obviously, up. It just makes browsing these menus so much easier than pretty much any other system I've ever used. Dynamic action sync mode, you can switch that off from the main button, or you can turn it on. It's meant to reduce the input lag, but to be honest, I can't really tell the difference. Now, if you watch the black stabilizer, let me just turn it all the way up. So you can see that it takes away a lot of the blacks. If you go too far down, they're too dark. It seems that 50 is the best mode. You should probably leave it just right in the middle so you get just enough black without going too far. You have the 6 color options in here, so if you really want to fine tune the colors you can. If you enable game mode, settings, so whatever's going to suit you best. So inside of each of these, you have the brightness, contrast, sharpness, pretty much everything you need to change what the monitor is going to do. Personally, I just leave that off and use one set of custom settings, and that works fine for me. The Motion 240, I couldn't really tell the difference, so you can try it by all means, but I couldn't see the difference. I don't see the point of it. I think it's a bit of a gimmick. I'm not sure why they add these things to it, but I was getting 250 frames in a game and no difference, so I'm going to stick to the 144. You can see it's got quite a large bezel, plenty of room for a webcam, so I actually appreciate that on these monitors. I have a video light on top of this camera, so I'll just turn it on now. And this test basically shows how non-reflective the screen is. You will get the brightness obviously, but you won't see any reflections. So if you have your door open or curtains open, you're not going to get the reflections of the room or outside on your screen. As you'd expect in game, it is silky smooth. And that's why we buy these higher hertz monitors. They're definitely worth it, and for anyone wondering, yes, you can tell the difference between 60, 120, and not so much 144. 144 and 120 are essentially the same. I don't know anyone who can tell the difference, but for 60 and above, you can definitely tell. In a first-person shooter like Quake, it's going to look amazing when you're rocket jumping around because it is just so smooth. However, it won't help your aim. In fact, I don't think I saw any improvement at all. You're better off going for a better mouse if you're trying to aim better. 120Hz and 144Hz are all about how it looks. If you want to enjoy your gaming more, I definitely recommend them. This monitor is amazing for racing games and all. There are pretty much no games you wouldn't want to play on this monitor because it is just a great gaming monitor. So what you're seeing here is what it looks like on camera, so I can't show you exactly what it looks like for obvious reasons. However, you can tell here that it's just beautifully smooth. I can tell you that the colors are quite good, the blacks are good. The screen quality just seems really top notch. I'm very happy with LG monitors now. Changing between modes is quite fast, as you can see there. Let's see if I can give you an example of the viewing angle. So this is what it's meant to look like from in front, and we start to lose it just a little bit there, but even from this angle, which is pretty much on the side, you can still see a fair bit. And even from pretty much the top, where I can't push it anymore without losing all the screen, you can still see. So for a non-IPS panel, this is actually quite good. Unfortunately, going down doesn't have the same result, but it's still quite good. So overall, I think this is a really good gaming monitor. I'm quite happy with my purchase. There are a few things that took a while to set up, but now that I've got it right, everything is just quite smooth and easy to use. As I said, the colors are good, brightness, levels, blacks. It took a bit of fiddling around with just to get it looking right, but everyone's going to be different, so just spend the time with it, you should be okay. And the menus are so easy to navigate that you shouldn't have a problem anyway. So this monitor was exactly what I was looking for. It's LG to suit my other monitors. It's 144Hz, it's only 24 inch, I was considering 27, but LG don't make them unfortunately. And if you are trying to decide between a 60Hz monitor, say IPS and really big resolution, and 144Hz, I would definitely go for the higher hertz, because resolution, while it looks better graphically, won't look better in game. You're not going to look at every pixel by itself while you're playing. You want smooth frame rates when you're playing. That's the most important thing. So on my limited experience with monitors, but I have owned some good ones in the past, I would have to say that I highly recommend this one. So I'm not going to do too many monitor reviews because I don't buy too many. However, I did a lot of research and this one was the best for the price and exactly what I wanted. However, I do buy a lot of gaming mice and I do reviews of those, and I'll start to play a few more games and give tips and tricks on those. So if those things interest you, then please hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like because it does help it come up in search results better. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one.